Everything you do is probably tied to validation seeking in some way. And before people get defensive about that straight away, I don't even necessarily mean it in a bad way. Humans care what other people think. That's normal. If nobody cared about approval at all, society would just probably collapse within about 10 minutes. But I think what's happened now is that a lot of people don't even realize how much of their personality is built around being perceived by other people. Like, just imagine for a moment that you're alone on a desert island for the rest of your life. Nobody can see you. Nobody can judge you. No Instagram, no dating apps, no comment section, nothing. How much of your life would actually stay the same? Would you still dress the same way? Would you still care about looking attractive, or would you still want the same career? Would you still post half the stuff you do online if no one's going to see it? And I think for most people, if they're being really honest, a lot of it would change. Because so much of modern life now feels performative. Like, people are building identities around how they appear rather than how they actually are. Like, take my tattoos, for example. I'm covered in them, all over my body. Now, I could sit here and say that I got them entirely for myself because I like them. And that's probably mostly true. But I definitely thought about how they'd look to other people when I got them. And I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, if I was the only person left on Earth, would I get tattoos? Maybe. Would I plan the tattoos and think about how they look to other people? Probably not, because there's no one there to see them. I probably wouldn't care about how I looked anymore. And social media has made all of this so much worse, because now your whole life has become a kind of performance if you're not careful. Every opinion becomes public and every achievement becomes public. Even normal moments become content now. People go somewhere nice and instead of just enjoying the moment and enjoying the holiday, the first thing they think is, I should post this. And again, I'm not judging people because I catch myself doing this as well sometimes. Like, even with YouTube now, I notice moments where I start thinking about how things look from the outside instead of how they actually feel. And those are two completely different things. Because there are people out there living lives that look amazing on the outside, but on the inside, they're miserable. They hate the pressure and they hate maintaining the image. It's exhausting. But they can't stop because the validation itself becomes addictive. And honestly, I think that's why a lot of people feel lost now. Because if your whole identity is built around external approval, eventually you stop developing an internal one. You stop asking yourself what you actually want and start asking yourself what will make people respect you or envy you or approve of you. And even dating feels like this sometimes. Like, people don't always want connection as much as they want reassurance. Reassurance that they're attractive enough or desirable enough or important enough. And I think the internet has made people hyper aware of themselves all the time. Like, everybody's constantly observing themselves from the outside. Even conversations feel slightly performative now sometimes. Like, people are editing themselves while they speak. and it's exhausting. You can really feel the difference when somebody genuinely doesn't care about performing. There's something really, really calming about it because of how rare it is now. Somebody who's just fully themselves, not trying to sound smarter than they are, and not trying to build some perfect image all the time. You can really feel it when you meet these kinds of people. And I think most people are craving that kind of honesty now because everything else feels so artificial and fake, and everyone can see through it now. And honestly, I don't even fully know who I'd be without validation. I think everybody likes to imagine they'd be this completely authentic person that doesn't care what anyone thinks, but I don't think that's true. I think human beings naturally care about belonging and approval. The problem is when your entire personality starts to revolve around that. Because then eventually you wake up one day and realize you don't actually know which parts of yourself are real and which parts were built for other people. And I think that's happening to a lot of people now, whether they realize it or not. So I think maybe the more interesting question is probably just, if nobody was watching you, what kind of life would you actually want?